What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. And I wanted to jump straight into the video on this one because the WWE has literally been cooking this last week. I'd say this last week to week and a half, especially Monday Night Raw last Monday, Friday Night SmackDown, Survivor Series, and then the Monday that just passed 2 nights ago. It's been phenomenal. And I don't know if it's because, we're at the end of the year. I don't know if it's because they were ramping up for Survivor Series. I don't know what the hell is going on. But it's been awesome. And I hope that they can keep it at this level. I hope that they can keep it at this pace. It just feels like we're in a different era right now. And I understand that we are to an extent, but this whole year has been kind of dry, especially with SummerSlam and all that crap. Like with just everything that was going on around the summertime, it was just so bad, in my opinion, that maybe that just makes now look really good, especially wrap it up to WrestleMania. But I don't know. Anyway, there's a few things I want to talk about. We had a lot of big things happen this weekend, from this mystery man to Liv Morgan returning. You got Braun Breaker doing the best promos. Probably one of the top promos of the year. It just so much happened in these last few days. And so I want to kind of touch on a little bit of those in this video. So let's start with the mystery man. Who the hell is the mystery man? And what is going on? Why is he needed? Where did he come from? And who could he be that would make sense in this storyline, right? So I know I did a short yesterday or the day before that, kind of talking about like the mystery man possibly being, Dean Ambrose or, Austin Theory. I've heard Edge. I've heard, obviously Seth Rollins because he did the stump. And so there's so many people that this could be, but there's no one that like makes sense. And that's what I'm having trouble with. Like, what could possibly be the motive behind someone going into War Games in the middle of a match, stomping CM Punk, not attacking Braun Breaker, and then not necessarily helping either side, but leaving without revealing themselves? Like, there's not many people I can think of that makes sense to do. Like, right, you got Seth Rollins would be the only person that would make sense for. However, he's hurt, and you would think that he would have attacked Braun Breaker, or he's a mystery man, therefore he didn't attack Braun Breaker on purpose to make Braun Breaker think that the mystery man's on their side, right? So could it be Seth Rollins? Absolutely. And maybe he just made it super obvious with the stomp and attacking CM Punk and not attacking Braun Breaker, which that could definitely be the case, especially since Seth Rollins is also the same person who earlier this year just faked an injury. So I don't know. Could it be Seth Rollins? Absolutely. Could it not be Seth Rollins? Absolutely. But he's the only one that actually has a motive. But why give up your championship just to do all this nonsense? You know what I mean? Like, he was the champion. Why become the champion, fake an injury, lose a championship just to go fight CM Punk? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And so, although Seth Rollins makes sense, it also doesn't make sense at the exact same time, right? Then you got people like Austin Theory, you got your Dean Ambroses. Austin Theory, could it be? Absolutely. But again, why? What would be the motive behind Austin Theory thinking that he could just jump to the top of the food chain and go for the world heavyweight title? Like, before they're in the Continental title, before the US title. Like, he's not even on Dominic Mysterio's level to think that he could just jump into the middle of War Games. Like, it also doesn't add up. Like, what did that prove if also he didn't reveal who he is? You know, like, if he's Austin Theory and he wants to come in, he wants to get a title shot in CM Punk and say, hey, like, I did this to you, so therefore, you know, give me a title shot. He didn't reveal himself, so like, why would that make sense to reveal himself later? Then you got Edge. Edge doesn't make sense because John Cena's here. Like, it would make more of an impact for Edge to attack John Cena and them to finish out John Cena's, you know, his retirement against Edge, right? But why would he attack CM Punk? Doesn't make sense. Dean Ambrose, same thing. It just doesn't make sense why he would go after CM Punk and go after the World Heavyweight title when you have Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns that would make a bigger story with. And so everyone I'm hearing, none of it makes any sense to me. Like, I'm not seeing it. I'm not getting I don't get the plot with any of those guys. Again, Seth Rollins is probably the closest, but even Seth Rollins is kind of like, it's kind of stupid. And so let's kind of shift gears. Let's go to Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, hands down, if she wouldn't have gotten hurt earlier this year, would have had a phenomenal year. She was already on a phenomenal, you know, breakout year. You know, she already had a breakout year last year in 2024, but 2025 was fantastic for Liv Morgan, right? She was doing her thing with Nikki Bella. She was doing her thing with Rhea Ripley, and then she was a tag team champion, and she was about to start another feud, and she was just doing so much for the women's division before she got hurt that her return could be huge, especially with the buildup we've already gotten from the women's division this year, right? So I've had a lot of good stuff happen this year with the women's division, with Evolution, and, you know, Stephanie Valkyrie becoming a champion, and I think Raquel Rodriguez has gotten a lot more shine this year. You got the whole thing with Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree, and, you know, there's so much stuff going on in the women's division that adding, you know, Liv Morgan on top of all that is crazy. You also got AJ Lee. There's just so much. You got Asuka, like, and all the crazy thing is that everyone's on Raw. So there's Bayley, there's Lyra, there's just so many ways that they can go with the women's division right now that it almost feels like Liv is just icing on the cake. Like, I don't really know where she could go. Is she gonna start her own faction? Like, she has enough, like, I don't really know what to do with her, right? We just had War Games where you had Rhea, Charlotte, Alexa, and I don't even remember their whole team right now, or AJ Lee, and I'm blanking, but they had their 5. The other team had their 5, and now Liv Morgan could literally start her own 5 with the group that she just had in the ring last night, the other night, which is her, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez, Bayley, and Lyra Valkyria. And I would be interested in seeing that 5. That could be a really good 5. The Judgment Day could literally have a revamp simply because Dom is doing amazing and Liv Morgan is back. And the WWE is in a sweet spot right now that we haven't seen in a really, 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 really long time, where everything just kind of feels like options. They can go any way with anything, right? Even on the men's side, the main event could be one of 9. I mean, there's 9 different characters right now that could literally main event WrestleMania, and I wouldn't have any complaints about it, right? And so Liv Morgan comes back. Great timing, perfect timing. The way she came back, jumped on John Cena. She'll forever be John Cena's last pay-per-view moment. And that's huge. I think that was a huge moment for her, huge moment for Dom. I think that propelled both of them into a whole different stratosphere that they weren't even in yet. On top of that, you got Braun Breaker, who delivered, like I said, one of the best promos of the year the other night. And not because of what he said, but because of what you felt when he said it. It felt real. Like, you didn't feel like, oh, he's just going on script and he's just out here talking about, you know, how he's gonna beat him up whenever, blah blah blah. Like, it genuinely felt like if CM Punk walked out there or if anyone touched him, he would destroy them on spot. And then him leaving, you know, Paul and Logan and BRON in the ring as well. It was just perfect. It was literally perfect, and I wouldn't change a thing. And I think that a lot of guys get away from what Braun Breaker did, which was authenticity. A lot of guys feel like they're out there reading a script or memorizing a script and just adding feeling to it, where Braun Breaker feels like he went out there and they were like, dude, you got 3 minutes, bring it home. And he brought it home. And so that got me thinking. I was listening to another podcast, the Busted Open podcast, and one thing that they mentioned was the fight with CM Punk and Braun Breaker. And I completely agree with Bubba Ray Dudley when he said, I think that the fight, Braun Breaker versus CM Punk, should be a 30-second fight. I think Braun Breaker should come out there and completely and absolutely destroy CM Punk and set a standard for Braun Breaker's career. And not only will that build up Braun Breaker, that'll also build up CM Punk, because CM Punk's at a level at which he can lose or win and still win in the long term. I think that more fans will just get behind him even more, especially with how crazy his story has been with the World Heavyweight title. Losing it to Seth Rollins in 5 minutes, getting it back, and then losing it in 30 seconds to Braun. I think that would just be icing on the cake. And so those are just my thoughts. Comment below what you think about all this stuff. I know it's a lot, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think about these three different topics. Who's the mystery man? What's your thoughts on Liv Morgan coming back? And did Braun Breaker just deliver the promo of the year? So with that, guys, hit the like button, comment below what you guys think, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.